My name is Chezi Missia, and this is Gymnastics in the Artificial Intelligence World. Technology today is getting more advanced each year, such that sports could look very different in 10 years. These new advances could include robot umpires in baseball or even robot referees in soccer or basketball. I decided to see if I can use some of my personal background as a gymnast to create my model. Gymnastics have always had an in-person judge scoring the routines based on the gymnast's technique and how well they perform each skill. But what if an artificial intelligence model could do a better, more precise job than a human could? In my presentation, I will be describing both of my models and evaluating each one. The goal of my model was to see if it could classify or determine the correct handstand pose that I am doing at that moment. The first model that I used was using pose models in Teachable Machines. And like other models, Teachable Machines have multiple components to them, such as the inputs, the outputs, and the different classes. The input is how the information is being sent into the computer, and in this case, the input is my webcam. The output shows what is being classified or how the model interprets the different poses, and the different classes that I used for different handstand poses. So the different handstands I used were handstand, stack handstand, and single stack handstand. And all this information is then put into the model and trained. After my model was trained, this is how it classified the different poses. So this was the stack handstand, regular handstand, and single stack handstand. The second model that I decided to use was Pose Model in Teachable Machines but using Wekinator. And this model is a little different than Teachable Machines in that you're using Wekinator to help classify the different handstand poses. I chose to do the track pose function, which has the ability to send information by pinpointing different parts of the body and sending them into Wekinator. As you can see, I chose to do mid to lower body parts for this model because that is what is going to be shown during my handstand. In this model, I did 36 inputs with one output but with 3 classes. And Wekinator does not have the ability to change the different classes into words, so number 1 is classified as handstand, 2 stack handstand, 3 single stack handstand. After I trained my model, Wekinator classified this as handstand. They classified this as single stack handstand and this as single stack handstand. Overall, based on the 2 different models, the Teachable Machine model worked the best because it was able to correctly identify all 3 of my different poses. Unfortunately, the Wekinator Teachable Machine did not work as well. While it could classify the regular handstand and the single stack handstand, it incorrectly identified the stack handstand as 3 when it should have been 2. This may have happened due to not enough picture or video examples, or the handstand looking very similar to this single stack handstand. Now you may be wondering how this all ties back to the replacing of in-person judging or the future of gymnastics. Well, last year there was a gymnastics competition that was held in Germany, and the gymnastics officials wanted to use artificial intelligence as a test in place of in-person judging. They placed these boxes that were equipped with 3D lasers around the arena, and it was able to track every movement the gymnast made. The information was then sent to a specific AI model, and then this model was able to measure and analyze all the different angles and body positions of the gymnasts. Using these techniques in my model and the newer advanced AI models, this could possibly replace in-person judging. Overall, this model was not perfect and somewhat difficult to make. However, this new advancement could be a game changer in the gymnastics world. With COVID threatening another gymnastics meet season, what with the possibility of in-person judging being compromised, this type of technology can not only be helpful in bringing the sport to more precision, but could become a great substitute should there continue to be a need to restrict human contact in the months and years to come.